All right, we're slowly building up now. Over 100, we're at 21% to start this charge and this video. So fired right up and we are good despite the snow cover. 152. Beautiful.
Charge on, Wisconsin!
Welcome to Lake Delton and the winter. I've been trying to get this Kwik Trip, Kwik Charge 2025 recap shot, and I was like, well, we're gonna do it in the snow then. Okay. I can pull a lot more power now because that Silverado just finished charging. But anyway, so what do I want? I want this video to kind of, we're going to go over the entire Kwik Charge network. Been all over the state this year. I posted previously about hitting all 8 of the open ones. Well, the ones that were open before Christmas week, I had gone to all 8 of those. And there weren't too many of you out there that had been able to pull that off because they're pretty far away. The one in Ashland is probably the one that sticks out to me. That's one that's hard to get to unless you're going up there local or like me, you traveled up there in the summer. Pleasant Prairie to Ashland, Superior to Sheboygan, Madison to Menomonie, La Crosse to Land O'Lakes. All over the state, done a lot of charging and showing off the DC fast charging options in the state, in the region, really. You know, we've got 8 Electrify America stations in Wisconsin, 6 EVgo stations, including Pilot Flying J, 24 Blink stations, mostly at dealerships. Zeph Energy has 11 DC fast charging. They're mostly low power. And it's only 22 stalls. ChargePoint has 49 stations, only 51 stalls. EV Connect has 18, mostly dealerships again. Ford Charge has 18 dealerships with charging in that network. Reddy has 4 stations. Tesla has 37 in Wisconsin, but 13 of them are Tesla only. And not all of those Tesla-only stations are limited by their V2 hardware, although some are. This video is just going to concentrate on Kwik Charge. We got 10 stations that are open. The 2 more that opened last week, or what, now 10 days ago maybe now, in Pewaukee and Fond du Lac, got us to 10. That are open. So Fond du Lac, Pewaukee, Lake Delton here, Pleasant Prairie, La Crosse, Mount Horeb, Menomonie, Chippewa Falls, Ashland, and West Salem. That's in reverse order of them opening, I guess, is how I typed that up. But I've been to all 10 locations, charged at the 8 of them. And like I said, I'm not sure how many we're able to get to 8 or maybe 8 now, where Fond du Lac and Pewaukee are included, but I'm not sure if anybody's got to 10. And I won't do that for a little while yet. 40 charging stalls opened over the last 13 months in the Kwik Charge system network. But it's not like Kwik Trip was unfamiliar with charging, and we'll talk about that before they open their own sites. They have other spots that do have charging, just not their own network. So we've got 6 more sites under construction, 5 in Wisconsin and 1 in Minnesota that's deep into construction, and maybe another one that's going to either pick up or start up soon. I like Kwik Charge because it is a network that is just concentrated in exclusively Wisconsin right now. When that Minnesota site opens in North Branch, that will be a multi-state network, but it's it's all Wisconsin. It's I think they know the state, they know the area. I like the charging because it's convenient and it is capable, and they we're able to take the money from the NEVI program and turn it into something in the state. Not that the other NEVI award winners haven't turned it into something, but there's been some one-offs like in Rhinelander, where it's a great ad, but it's not 10 sites all across the state. It's just the one with 060, and then Francis has the 4 sites, which are way up north, which sure they definitely are needed and wanted, and fill in a big part of the desert, but that's 4 sites. That's not 10. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to concentrate on it. With Kwik Charge now, especially with Pewaukee, which is right outside of Milwaukee on I-94, and Fond du Lac, which is up on 151 and I-41, you can drive around much of the state, and it has opened up charging options in a lot of areas. So let's go over what you're going to find if you go to a Kwik Charge site. We've got 4 SK Signet 400 kilowatt capable charging stations with both CCS and NACS cables on each machine, but only one of those 2 cables can be used at a time. So it is weird. It's not quite Electrify America, where they put 2 CCS cables on one machine and only one can be used, but it's in that ballpark, I guess. But it also means each machine here can charge a NACS car or a CCS car natively. So, the Iona across the street has not quite open yet. I just stopped over there. They have 5 charging stalls with 2 cables each, but both can be used at each time. But each machine, each hypercharger only has one type of cable. So there might be more adapter use over there. I don't know. So anyway, it's not like I haven't used an adapter on a NACS cable on one of these machines at Kwik Charge before. But anyway, we're going to tackle the number one complaint that I see on PlugShare and hear from some people, and that is the pricing. Here's the thing. In this state right now, there just isn't a lot of competition. This in Lake Delton right here, where there's 3 within a block, soon when Iona opens, there's 2 now that are open. That's one of the few places that has any real competition. So if there's more competition, I think the pricing will kind of figure itself out. For like gas stations, right? There's 3 or 4. If there was 1, well, they wouldn't really have to worry about somebody's, charging somebody 3 extra cents or whatever. They can charge what they want. Well, with the car wash opening, we'll go there. So until there's competition in each spot, I think you're not going to drive prices down, and that's what is always seen with competition in all realms of business. So, but I've also overpaid for gas when it's just like, oh, there's only one gas station in town. I'm paying what they're charging. You're not able to shop around. So one thing to note though is that, and I try to make sure people understand, is when you see the price on a charger from Kwik Charge, that price includes the tax. There's 3 cents per kilowatt hour excise tax on every kilowatt hour dispensed in the state of Wisconsin. So when Kwik Charge shows you that price, that includes that 3 cents. Tesla, EVgo, Electrify America. You go there and you see it's across the street here. It's 48 cents per kilowatt hour for the Tesla supercharger for a non-member. And but that doesn't include the 3 cents tax. So you add the 3 cents to it, and it's 51 cents over there, or 52 cents that I'm paying here next to me. So 1 cent here, longer cables. I don't have a car that's going to take advantage of it, but the Kia EV9 over there is going to be able to take advantage of the extra power that they're going to be able to pull with their 800-volt battery over here than you would over there. So for 1 cent here, 1 cent extra, I think your car like that is going to definitely see a benefit. Maybe at some point, Kwik Charge will have a membership program, like you would at Electrify America, Pass Plus, or a Tesla membership, but they don't right now. So that's the good thing, is whatever you're paying, that's all you're paying. You're not paying extra to get a cheaper price. So so there's that. All right, let's start with the first site that opened. December 1st, 2024, West Salem. It's actually the only station in the Kwik Charge network so far that is not supported by NEVI funds. That was all their own build. It's also the only one with a canopy right now, although I have heard that it's possible that there will be more going into having a canopy. It's possible. Don't quote me that everyone is going to get a canopy. I'm just saying it's possible that we may see more canopies in the future. So that was the original one, December 1st. It's a large truck stop right off of I-90. West Salem's 12 miles into Wisconsin on I-90. And then later in December last year, sorry, it's 2026. Later in December 2024, Ashland, Menomonie, and Chippewa Falls all opened. Menomonie was the first one that I went to, and it was probably the worst possible conditions. I stayed overnight in Menomonie after going to a Badger Gopher basketball game in Minneapolis. And so I woke up and the battery was frozen in the morning. Got 11 inches of snow the day before. It was something. So frozen battery, early morning, very cold temperatures. And that was actually the first trip that I took where I videotaped the stops, knowing that I wanted to, at some point, create a channel like this one. I kind of like toyed with it, but, went to 3 EVgo stations in Mauston and Black River Falls and Roberts, and then stopped in Menomonie on the way back. And so those are, I think, 3 videos that actually made it onto the channel. So go back and take a look at those if you want. But so that was in March of 2025. And then the WisconsEV channel is debuted in May. So there you go. Menomonie was the one that kicked it all off, I guess. And good stop right off of I-94, very close to the highway. It's kind of parking right out front, so there's not a lot of walking around you'd have to do. It was kind of like the side parking lot that became a nice charging location out by the gas pumps. But it's right in front of the store. You can walk right into the store. Easy peasy. As opposed to like here, where the charging stuff is convenient to the car wash, the vacuums and stuff, but not so much to the front of the store. I got to walk all the way around to the side of the building here if I want to go into this Kwik Trip. Minor inconvenience, but anyway, just a little different. So next up, that I went to, now we're tracking my experience with Kwik Charge, and that was in Mount Horeb. It's a large Kwik Trip truck stops type right off of US 151 south of Madison on the way to Iowa. That one opened in May of 25, and I was able to get the first public charge because I was local. It's the closest one to my house. And I'd also been pestering Adam Schwartz from Kwik Charge as the charging was getting worked on there and being commissioned. And So I knew when it was going to be, when they were hoping it would be finalized, and so I was there when they flipped the switch, and was able to plug in that same day. So that was kind of cool. That was the first video that was released on this channel. So there's a special place in my heart for that. It's also a spot that I've charged at the most. Charged there yesterday. Charged there a lot over the summer. It's the closest non-Tesla DC fast charger to my house. Done a bunch of videos there, testing adapters, the station visit. So yeah, I think it's also one of the most important in the network because of the lack of other options. From Madison to Dubuque, Iowa, which is 90 miles or so, there are no fast chargers right now, except for the Kwik Charge in Mount Horeb. And that cuts the Kwik Charge to Dubuque distance to 82 miles or so between fast chargers. And it's not like Dubuque is some DC fast charging mecca. It's a bunch of dealership charging and Tesla supercharger that's not open to other cars. But so it's important. Ashland, I think, is the most significant, and we'll get to that one in a little bit. But yeah, Mount Horeb's probably number 2 as far as like importance of where it is and such, and what's around it. So for most of the year, I was tracking the usage at the open stations, and that one was putting out the most across the network from the numbers that I was seeing. So relatively, busy compared to some of the other ones as well. So the third station I went to was the original West Salem. Like I said, large Kwik Trip truck stop off of I-90, the one and only canopy. And it was actually in July that I was there. First time I had been to a charger with a canopy, and that one kind of opened my eyes to what benefits it provides, because it was very hot and the shade was appreciated. Now I've charged at other places where it's been raining, and that's when you really get the benefits of the canopy. But as we don't have one here, and we're getting snowed on. But yeah, so that one kind of opened my eyes to the what a canopy can mean. I am now a supporter of the canopy, Team Canopy. So that one being the first one that's open, it was the first one that you got to see the setup that they've gone with in almost all of their locations. We'll talk about the difference here in a little bit. But 2x2 stacked next to each other, four parking spots right in a row. That station also has a lot of space if you're towing. Lots of curb space outside the first and the last charger, the end chargers. Where you can, grab electrons without detaching your trailer. Good options. There's fewer options here, it seems like, but again, we'll go get into that when we get over to this one. One thing that I just learned about is that West Salem has a new credit card payment terminal on at least one of their machines. There's no app needed, and you can get a receipt, digital receipt via text or QR code if you use their new credit card payment terminals. So check that one out in West Salem. If you have been there and have used that new one, let me know in the comments what it was like and if it was any different. Next one, up off of Highway 29, kind of a main thoroughfare up to the North Woods in Chippewa Falls, and I was there in late July. Had the corgis with me, showed them around the Kwik Charge station, little space there, so that was nice. It was also my first night/dusk charging session, so I got to see the lighting and then what it was like there. So it also got me up to the Twin Cities because I was up there for a few days before heading up to the North Woods for a week of vacation. So that one was the fourth station I was at, and it was then, I think by then, that I had figured out what the easiest way to charge my car at these stations were. I don't think it was the fourth visit, but that was the fourth station, I guess. So on that one, I backed in, and it was, pretty easy. Backed in, used the front machine. Today with the weather and the conditions, I did not do that, but that's a good option. And just kind of knowing your car and knowing what's best to make that cable easy to get into your car. So Chippewa Falls is actually the busiest station during the summer, several weeks when I made it back there, got some more data. And I also heard that it was the busiest during the Thanksgiving travel season. And still has the lower price of 45 cents per kilowatt hour. So more usage and a lower price is good, right? And in August, I was up in Ashland for the first time. Recommend doing that drive along Chequamegon Bay and the upper point there by Cornucopia and down through Bayfield, right along the lake. Gorgeous. Summertime was when I was there, so that might make a difference. But a great drive, very scenic. Also, when charging at the Kwik Charge there in Ashland, the views are the best of the entire network. It's not even close. So definitely, if you get all the way up there, that's definitely one that you should check out for the views, if nothing else, because you can plug in and then grab a coffee and then go down, walk to the lake, dip your toes in or something, and then go back and your car should be charged up. So that one's the most, I said Mount Horeb was important, but Ashland, especially at the time, is still, but was at that point when I was there, the most important in the network. And that's because there was nothing around. Duluth to Minocqua, there was basically no fast charging in that entire area. So I charged up in Duluth, drove over to Land O'Lakes, and the stop in Ashland really made it easy and possible to have enough charge to kind of make it around the whole week up in the Northwoods. 200 miles from Duluth to Land O'Lakes, and so having that stop in Ashland when there's nothing else around was beautiful. There isn't even a supercharger between Minocqua and Duluth, so we're halfway through the stations, and why am I going through all 10 of them when I've already got videos of it? Well, there's some of the Kwik Charge videos only have a couple hundred views, so the newer ones with 1,000, 1,200 views, I guess people aren't going back to look. So I wanted to kind of go through the whole network and judge it as a whole. Next one up was La Crosse for me, and that was I stopped by in July when it was under construction. That's when I went to West Salem, but came back in August after it had opened. It was about a week, and that one actually, I know I just talked up Ashland about how nice of a view that is. The La Crosse station is very close to the river, and so you could walk over there, plug in, and walk over to the river walk, and not a bad way to spend your charge time there either in La Crosse. So on the shores of the Mississippi, but or the Black River, I don't know where it is, but it's basically the same body of water, right? Even if it's not technically the Mississippi, or is it Onalaska, Lake Onalaska? I don't know. It's pretty body of water. So another good stop. A lot of good amenities. Giant vacuum area, kind of similar to here, where it's right next to the charging. So I think it is possible to, at least here it is, I know it's possible to vacuum and charge at the same time. But I'm not sure if it is in La Crosse. Maybe I'd have to test that out the next time I get out there. One note about La Crosse, they have the largest transformer of any of the sites that I've been to so far, 1,000 kVA. This one and all the other ones are 750 kVA. So A little bit of expansion possibilities in La Crosse, question mark. It was pointed out to me that one of the things that made this place special was that they did leave some room for expansion and ran some conduit. And I'm not sure if they ran cabling or not, but they definitely ran conduit so they would have an easier time if they want to add chargers here in Lake Delton. So maybe that's another possibility in La Crosse, but I wouldn't hold my breath for that. Next up for me was a visit to Fond du Lac, and that was when it was under construction. That was in August as well. Good location right off of I-41. Easy to get on and off the highway. Easy to access it from getting off of 151, which is my main road. What happens when you mix those together? You get babble. It is cold, remember. It's like 10 degrees. So I'm surprised my mouth is still working. Got the heated vests kicking into overtime. But anyway, it's pretty easy to get to. Again, there's not a ton of non-dealership charging there. There is a Tesla supercharger at Target, which I have charged at, and videos still to come. But it's probably, if you're coming off the highway, it's easier, much easier to get to the Kwik Charge location than it is the Tesla, because it is kind of in an awkward location away from one of the on-off ramps from the interstate. So that station actually just opened 10 days ago, December 22nd. 4 months of construction. So it took a while to get there, but I'm excited to get back up there and charge just to see. That one has a little bit different setup. There's a couple ways you can get it into the station, but there's only one exit out of the Kwik Trip, footprint there. And in order to exit, you have to drive past the 4 charging stalls. So I'm not sure how, getting in and getting out of the charging stalls will be at a busy time for, in and out there at the Kwik Trip in general, not just the Kwik Charge. So I'm not sure, because it's such a busy spot, I'm not sure. That might be the worst location for pull through, but I'd have to test that as well. I guess I'd have to have something to tow if I really wanted to test it. But I'm looking forward to getting up there and charging next time. Pewaukee began construction in September. That's around the backside of the Kwik Trip there in Pewaukee on Gulf Road, right off of I-94. Until that one opened, there's just not a ton of other options on I-94 between Milwaukee and Madison. The supercharger at the Kwik Trip in Johnson Creek is really about it between the two biggest cities in the state. So Pewaukee is a good addition outside the city and on the way towards Madison, but not too far outside of it's outside of downtown, but it's not really outside of the metro area of Milwaukee. So I think that one will be great. I will use that a lot. It's right next to the DMV there on Gulf Road. So when you're, renewing your tags that you forgot to do online or whatever, you can drive over there and charge and walk over and get your car registration renewed, etc. This one also opened on December 22nd. Been there a few times, like I said, but I haven't charged there. So the Fond du Lac and Pewaukee are the only two I haven't charged at so far that are open. So I got to get those on the list, right? Fill up the bingo card. I don't know when I'll be getting back over to Milwaukee before Brewers season, but I'll probably make a special trip before the Brewers go. Here's one tip: if you're coming from Milwaukee going west and you're going to stop at the Pewaukee location, don't take the Highway 16 bypass exit, which is the first one that says exit 293. if you're going to that Kwik Charge, it'll take you up north. It's like the Pewaukee bypass, and it's like 2 miles or 3 miles until the next exit, and then you have to wind your way back on the side roads. And you can ask me how I know that. Experience. The Pewaukee one and the one here at Lake Delton, I think, are set up to be two of the busiest locations. I think there's a Honda Prologue that just pulled in. I can hear the machines purring a little bit. So this one here in Lake Delton and that one in Pewaukee, just by their relative proximity to the interstates. I-94 again, lack of charging along there, so that one I think could be well used. And this one, I've kind of seen it today. There's been 4 or 5 cars rolling through here while I've been here, so I think this one being right off of 94. Now it's the middle of winter. Lake Delton is comparatively dead in the winter compared to what it is during the summer, but we're right at the gates of the Kalahari, so there's lots of cars that will roll by here, and this is an easy stop for them if they want to do that. So so this place is next on my list because it was the next one that I went to, and the first I've been here several times to check out the construction. And the construction didn't really actually take that long, I didn't feel like. Started in September, opened on November 24th, right before Thanksgiving. So I know it was pretty busy that weekend, as you'd expect, all the holiday travel going on. So 2 months from dig to open is quick. Mount Horeb, I think, was about 1 month, so it wasn't the fastest, but it was a good pace. So it went pretty quickly. This one is actually a unique setup because, as you can see behind, it's got the 2 chargers stacked, but the 2 parking spots are opposite each other. They're not next to each other. So one of the unique things about this location is that setup. First time I experienced it where there was somebody else charging while I was here. So the giant Silverado here, when I pulled in, it was interesting to kind of, navigate the station when some other car was parked here, especially a large one like that, where it's taken up a lot of room around the chargers just because of the size of that thing. No real issue, just one of the sides actually does not have a curb. So if you look at the chargers 1 and 2 are the ones over there, that one does not have an outer curb. So if you're going to tow here, that one might be the easier one to pull up to while you're, without disconnecting, because you can get kind of off the road but closer to those chargers than the ones on this side where I was plugged in before. Has a big curb where their light post there kind of prevents you from getting off the road but closer to the charger, just so the cable will reach. But anyway, just like when you if you need it, it's definitely a possibility. I mentioned it before, there is some extra capabilities here to add some more SK Signet machines. I'm not sure about like replacing the transformer or what that will mean, but I'll come back in the summer when this place is cooking and there's maybe a wait, because there are so many electric vehicles in town for the summer. I'll be interested to see how the first summer goes and see what the plans result in. But running conduit and stuff is a great way to save kind of in the long run, even though they aren't putting in more than the four NEVI required stalls right now. As I mentioned before, I'm watching all these cars roll out of the Kalahari on this Christmas break, or whatever break time on New Year's. It's New Year's Day today, so there's tons of cars coming in and out of this place. On New Year's Day, they had a good New Year's at the Kalahari, and now are heading back home. So I can only imagine in the summer what this place looks like for amount of cars that just roll through here. So great spot for this charge station because it's right on your way in. You know, if you probably can't miss it. A little more signage back here might even help some more. This location I would say is probably like the most interesting because of the Kalahari being on the way in. There's a super busy Tesla supercharger across the street at Culver's that's been open for 3 years. So I know there's lineups sometimes and busy times, travel times. So there could be some overflow over to this one, and then the new fish, big fish, Ayana, just saw their neat canopy over there across the street. So they're going to have 5 new Alpitronic hyperchargers there with 10 charging stalls. So, you went from 12 super busy Tesla slots to adding 14 more, so doubling the capacity for the area. So that's why it's interesting, because adding this much charging where I think it's needed. I don't know. There's going to be another, NEVI round 2. Kwik Charge will open a new station at 2 exits up at their supersized truck stop in Wisconsin Dells. So that'll be more stalls in the area. So expansion is good, and this is one of the few places that will have that close-in competition. So we'll have to keep an eye on it and see how the 3 kind of major players end up fighting it out up here. There is an EVgo station that's new in Greenfield at the Meyer, in the same parking lot as the Tesla supercharger. So there are more coming. Toma with the 3 stations right in close proximity, but it's few and far between for competition. One more pro tip for you. I know I mentioned it in my station visit before, but if you're coming in to this Kwik Charge, you take the 3rd driveway off of Wisconsin Dells Parkway. The first 2 go into the gas station side of the Kwik Trip. So this one will take you just back to the back of the site here, and it will make, you don't have to then go through all the gas pumps and such and travel around. You can just come right to the back of the station and you're in. Last but not least, for the 10 Kwik Charge stations is Pleasant Prairie, under construction at the same time as Fond du Lac, but that one actually opened before here and before Fond du Lac in Pewaukee in early November, almost 2 months before Fond du Lac. So everything kind of came together for that one. It's right off of I-94, just north of the Illinois border. Kind of a unique layout, and that's due to an existing storm drain that if they did their normal stacked configuration of charging stall or units, they were going to have to move the storm drain or deal with that in a different way. So they put them side by side. So there's like 6 or 5 parking stalls instead of just the normal 4, or the space at least, because those 2 machines are not stacked. They're spread out next to each other. That makes it, a unique one to see. And if you're, noticing differences like I do, when you've been to all 10 of them, you kind of see, oh, what's different here? What's in, because the charging machines are all the same. The experience is pretty much all the same. The amenities are basically all the same. So what is different? Well, this setup is different. The Pewaukee one's behind, and you can actually watch your car charge from inside while you're getting a coffee. So that's kind of nice. Found that out when I made one of my last stops over there. So that's kind of the interesting parts to me, is like seeing what's different, because there's so much the same. If you watched my preconditioning video for winter, you saw me charge there. Good stop, full video visit coming soon. Spoiler alert, like most of my other stops at Kwik Charge, it was a pretty good stop. And actually the drive from Madison wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So those are the open spots. We got 5 more in Wisconsin that are under construction and just about ready to go live. Hickston, Cameron, Marinette, Plover, Richfield. All of those spots have all their hardware installed, waiting for a transformer. So it's kind of out of their hands a little bit, but so in the first quarter of 2026 now, what is 10 open charging stations is going to go to 15 available sites. So pretty cool to go from, well, it was 8, then 10, and then 15 all of a sudden. So you almost doubled in size. And where those stations are spaced, it really opens up, again, more travel across the state. If you just wanted to travel Wisconsin using Kwik Charge locations, you're almost in a spot where you could do that. There's some way up north holes, but NEVI round 2 is hopefully going to bring that back around. I'm heading up to Minneapolis in a couple of weeks, so I'm going to probably stop by that Hickston location, see what that's going. So Minnesota, speaking of Minnesota, that's kind of the next frontier, right? We have the one station in North Branch that's deeply under construction. They just started it in the middle of winter after it snowed. So they've been, doing winter construction, keeping things warm and tarps. And, so it's been an interesting to kind of watch that one from afar. That first Kwik Charge in the state of hockey will be in North Branch, north of the Twin Cities on I-35, about 45 miles. And then another one will be, I don't think it's started construction yet, but it's kind of on the way in Forest Lake, which is a little bit closer to the Twin Cities. So, 9 total NEVI awards for Kwik Trip in Minnesota. That Wisconsin has a lot more. 21 more sites that are, once we get to the 15 that will be open or opening soon. 21 more sites have NEVI funding attached. 10 in the first round that I would expect those to be popping up in the construction realm in the spring or early 2026. An under construction tab on the NEVI dashboard, which I know I check a lot to see if anything has changed. I've been told that all the under construction means is that all the paperwork has been approved and it's been signed off by the DOT in Wisconsin. So there's still sites that are listed as under construction but haven't really turned any dirt. Hatley is one that I stopped at in August, and I don't think there's still anything going on. So that's a long time to be under construction. And so anyway, that's why I mention it. It's for those of you that are watching those, Edgerton is another one where it went for a while with nothing happening, but now they've got, concrete in and conduit. So it's on its way towards opening at some point. So 10 first round sites, and then in first round NEVI, and those are the ones that I expect will get going soon. And then I'm not sure about the second round. That one just was announced, so I'm sure there's lots of paperwork and stuff to figure out. There are some new players in that second round of NEVI. Kwik Charge has 11 sites in that funding, so there will be lots more coming from them. But then Universal EV and etc. Tesla has a couple of sites. So there's definitely some more coming non-Kwik Charge in that NEVI second round, but that's kind of, I think, a little bit further down the road. So one thing that I also wanted to talk about, and I kind of mentioned it a little while ago, is the non-Kwik Charge charging that's available at Kwik Trips. So they've got 10 Kwik Charge locations, right? Well, there's also 10 charging sites that are not Kwik Charge affiliated, Tesla superchargers and etc., where you can't use your Kwik Charge app or your Kwik Charge account won't help you there. Kwik Trip is just the site host for those charging locations. So you got to go through your Tesla app or whoever, Zeph Energy. So those are the ones that where Kwik Trip is just a host, but it's also kind of Kwik Charge isn't like their first run at charging or first experience in charging. They've had some experience with hosting superchargers, etc., and other machines, single machines, like. In Holman, I had a video there from the Zeph Energy spot there at the Kwik Trip in Holman. Lots of other spots. There's 10 that are non-Kwik Charge charging locations at a Kwik Trip. That Holman one, Johnson Creek, very important site. Magic Dock, remember, at the Johnson Creek site. So the only one in the state, and that's the only charging between Milwaukee and Madison until Pewaukee opens. So it's a good spot that any car can charge at, CCS or NACS. So make sure I've got videos of that one and the Holman one you can check out to see non-Kwik Charge charging at a Kwik Trip, maybe near you or on your way somewhere else. East side of Madison at the Kwik Trip. Over on American Family Parkway, over by the American Family campus, has a single ABB machine, and that's been temperamental. But that site is actually on the NEVI expansion award list in the second round of funding. So hopefully that sometimes working finicky ABB machine is taken out and replaced with a couple of SK or 4 SK Signet machines, and we can have some quality charging there and not be so questionable of whether it's going to work for you or not. And then there's some other ones in Illinois and Iowa. In those two states, Kwik Trip actually goes by Quickstar, same company, just a different name because of reasons. Tesla locations I've been to, the Quickstar in Ames, Iowa. That's also a Magic Dock location, so a good spot right off of I-35 in Ames. Everybody wants to talk about how cheap the superchargers are, et cetera, and it's all about price. And well, that location in Ames, the supercharger is actually the third cheapest in the area. There's a couple of ChargePoint CBE 250s right next door at a Come and Go, and those were let me check my notes here, 18 cents per kilowatt hour, thanks to the city of Ames putting them down there. So I got 50 kilowatts. I was able to pull out of that one at 18 cents per kilowatt hour. I would have paid 45 cents per kilowatt hour for charging at the supercharger. So economics, man. You got to stay away from those superchargers. They're super expensive. I think that one, even for the membership pricing, would have been more expensive. But that 18 cents isn't even the lowest. There's a Ford dealer in Ames where I charged and it was only 15 cents per kilowatt hour. So I think Iowa needs a lot more charging locations, but the ones that are there, I like the pricing. And I'll have some videos on that visit coming up as well. It's in my backlog of videos. In Illinois, Quickstar, just south of the border of Wisconsin in South Beloit. Stopped there recently on my way down to the BP Pulse GigaHub, and nice V4 station, longer cables. It's on the opposite side of the store, so you got to kind of wind through everything. There's not a third entrance like this one has. You either got to go through the truck diesel section or the gas pumps to kind of get to it on the other side of the store. But it's nice and quiet back there, and a great spot. I think there's 12 chargers. So that's then there's 5 other ones in Fort Dodge, Iowa, Davenport, Charles City, Lamar's, all hosted by Mid-Continent Energy, Charge Lab app. Lots of other charging at Kwik Trip, not just the Kwik Charge that they're building up now. Kwik Charge also has 10 NEVI awards in Iowa, but that NEVI program has been pretty non-existent, I would say. And so the charging in Iowa remains heavily dependent on dealerships, which there's some good ones, but dealership charging in Iowa has been the way that I've been able to drive through that state so much. But anyway, so that's about all I've got for you on Kwik Charge. Hopefully, the little deep dive got you interested in maybe watching the back history on some of the other video visits, because I don't think I covered everything on this video at each spot. But yeah, fan of Kwik Charge, and I want to see all 10 open, 5 to come, 21 more, 15, that's 36, or or whatever it is, the number of NEVI. Too cold right now, I can't think. So yeah, I'll let you get about your day, but thanks for coming on the deep dive at Kwik Charge, and we'll see you at the next charge.